Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Sam, and we're going to hop straight into your reading. We're going to start with the Intuition Oracle, see what it has to say for a starting energy for you all. All right, off the bat. Are we going from the book? No, we're going intuitive. This card is called the Storyteller. Perfect. This channel is about stories. I don't love the affirmation on this one, so we're just going to see what the art tells here. Lots of feminine energy, lots of gentle energy, possibly creativity sourced from the wellspring of the divine feminine and the inner child. Two aspects who work extremely well together. The inner child is what I'm getting from this little cherub, and the divine feminine from the woman playing the gigantic guitar. Lots of verdant energy as well, lots of flowers. Soft feminine colors and tones, pinks, magentas, purples, birds carrying hearts, dropping them from the sky. That to me speaks of divine inspiration as well. So it's this beautiful trifecta of divine inspiration coming through the divine feminine aspect and helped along by the uniqueness of your cheeky little inner child. Look at him or her. I'm getting that is not it. But rather than beleaguer it, we're going to go to some scrolls and see what wants to be said here. I actually have not considered how to reshuffle these. I mean, I kind of did a pre-shuffle of them, but how to select the correct one. I think I'm just going to fan them out and see which one calls to me. I don't know. What do we see, guys? Scry into this real fast. Pause it and use your intuition if you'd like a little bit of a choose your own adventure here. Let's see what comes out here. I always have a hard time not seeing insects in these. Lots of potential for insects. You know when you see an X-ray or like the hip bones, that's what this is reminding me of. Pelvis, coccyx. But it also looks a bit like a moth to me, which speaks of a messenger. And even like ancestral energy for me, ancestral messages. And the pelvis hip area just makes me think of the sacral. So this may be some form of creativity that you can channel ancestrally, or that you channel messages from your ancestors through this form of creativity, even. a little bit here I see like a flying beetle. I don't know if you see the like the mandibles, the head of the beetle, and then you know when a beetle's armor sort of splits open and the wings are underneath and it starts to fly? Getting a little bit of that, and most prominently, like a ladybug, um, is the kind of beetle I would associate with an energy like this. And ladybug speak to me of luck, of yeah, cheeky little winks from the universe to say that you're on the right track and that possibly whatever you're creating here, this form of creativity may bring you a lot of luck. Beautiful starting energies. What do we think? Archangels? More from here? Okay, more scrolls. Let's see. Where do you want me to go, Spirit? This one? Interesting. Check this out. This out. I made these with ink and canvas. If you guys are like, why is he confused about which way this goes? Because like these are purposefully a vague divinatory tool to scry into and see what comes from it. All right, guys, I'm going to sit with this one for a little bit and see what comes through. Okay, so here's what I see. What is being emphasized for this reading? Do you guys see like a person's head here? Almost reminds me of like a very anime sort of character, shoulders. Maybe this is some sort of headdress type thing, but very like a ninja or something. And what I see this person doing is I see like two clasped hands here, like they're praying, but then I see these like rocks floating around them, like a Jedi meditating and, like levitating these rocks. So it just makes me think of psychic gifts. And what I'm getting from this is that this creativity, this yeah, this lucky creative energy flows through your psychic gifts. You might be like, yeah, Sam, I'm not sure if this reading can be for me because I'm not super creative. I don't know how to, say, play the guitar. But this sort of suggests to me that you don't have to worry about that as much because you can channel it. And what I mean is it will come through your spiritual gifts, through your connection to the divine, through your spiritual gifts. Yeah, that is what is coming through so far. Let's see these ones. All right, we're going to do some astrology cards. I've got a mix here of houses and planets. See what wants to come through. Eighth house. Sex, death, and transformation. As a Scorpio, I can dig it. The eighth house is where we encounter many of the darker aspects of life. Here we can experience loss, emotional crisis, and deep transformation. Sex, death, and transformation. Any more from here? This is card number 35, which reduces to an 8, which is the Chinese lucky number, actually. Got 2 8s. Sex, death, and transformation. So there may be some transformation that you're wanting to occur, and you're not seeing how a creative act could do that, and you're not knowing how, what this creative act is for you, or how to bring that through. It's like this transformation needs to happen, but the pathway to it is unclear from your perspective, which I totally get. I think what's being brought through here is for this death to occur, this healthy death that leads to this transformation. Rather than going straight to the creative act, it's about first moving through your psychic abilities, through your spiritual gifts, because that will bring the creative act, which brings the death and transformation. But there may be confusion on your part about which one is the cart and which one is the horse. There's also something here about, this card is about a lot of darkness, a lot of dark emotions as well. So there's potentially something here about channeling those into your creative act. Like, have you ever been devastated by a loss? And it doesn't matter what it is, loss of a relationship, loss of, a pet or a family member, and written a poem about it. If you have never done that and you are currently experiencing a loss, just see if you can't write a little poem about it. It doesn't have to be long. It can be, doesn't have to be wrong. That's interesting. There's something there about like this art form, and I'm just going to focus on poetry for right now, but in that it doesn't have to be wrong. It can rhyme. It can be like what you might otherwise think of as a childish poem, right? Like one for a kid's storybook. It's like, why am I writing about the death of my pet in like rhyming Dr. Seuss poetry? And that's not don't worry about that, right? It doesn't have to be right and it doesn't have to be wrong. There is no right and wrong. It's just about moving those feelings through art, through a process of transmutation. And you might think like, Sam, I don't know how the fuck to write a poem, man. I don't know how to do that. And there's this encouragement here of like, the part of you does, and we'll just channel it through. And it doesn't matter if it's bad or good or right or wrong. You're just getting it down onto the page, and then you can You can edit it and move things around if you want, but it's just about moving those feelings out of the sacral where they might be blocking some energy. So that's for someone. Yeah. Anything else from here? All right, we're gonna take a look at the Archangel Fire Oracle here. See what wants to come through. Mirabiel. I like this one. She sort of has a, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, this is a kind of a Galadriel kind of energy. So check out Mirabiel. Read from the book. Oh no, we're going intuitive on the art. Okay. Yeah, so this is a little bit of like dark feminine energy. Dark side of the moon kind of energy. There's this wisdom, right, with the owl in your deep mind, in your subconscious with the water here, and the moon that is hidden. That you shine a light on through this movement of sacral energy in an what you may think of as an unconventional way. Like, Sam, I just want to deal with this stuff, or I just want to create. I don't want to somehow combine these activities. It seems like, it seems like I'm doing the same thing just with extra steps. And it's not that. It's like the universe has this way of organizing things very organically and fluidly, but in a way that like kills multiple birds with the same stone, that will remove obstacles that you didn't even know were there, as well as tackling whatever issue you know is there. Or you'll create something that you think is, because you want to create a specific thing, but actually what it's doing is healing you in some way, or unblocking energy, or helping you to understand a trauma even, right? Yeah. I think it's an interesting reading to be using the ink blots for, because what I do is I make what I'm intuitively guided to make on half of this, and then I fold it over, and what comes out is roughly similar to what I had created, but it's completely different. Like, the ink runs in ways that you don't expect, and it creates shapes that you did not intend. And it's this true co-creation. And if you do it intuitively, what comes out can be very interesting indeed. And it can be revealing. Like, it can be do you see her reflected in this moonlight, in the moon? It can hold up a mirror for you to better understand yourself and your deep mind. All right, more archangels are being called for. Soked Hosai. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. 1 and 2 with 12 there. So, yeah, big sacral energy with the orange. A balance here of the masculine and the feminine. So, my sense is whatever this creative act is, it involves that feminine receptivity, that divine feminine. And it's fun. You see, like the fun energy here. With the inner child. The inner child makes it fun. Hot air balloons. But there's some balance between the receiving, the channeling, the psychic aspect, which is the divine feminine, the receptivity, the seeing what comes through is what I usually term it as, and the masculine, which is like putting pen to paper, putting fingers to strings, splashing ink onto canvas, that doing principle. So this approach is going to balance those two things, as well as possibly helping to balance your masculine and feminine aspects out a little bit more in the process. That's where we want to be. Like each of us has a different ratio, I think, of divine masculine and divine feminine aspects that is natural to them. But when we can take this action from this place that healthfully involves both of them, that's when we can create real magic. Yeah, that's when we stop being like the ringleader of a circus or like a stage magician, and we get our wings and we become like the divine magician, doing things in perfect balance with the energy of the universe. I wasn't directed to pull any advice cards or anything. So I think, if this is the first you're hearing of this, this might just be one message of several that you receive from different sources about what this could be, or you might already have a hint as to how to go about this, and this is confirmation for you. Someone just might not have known that this is a way they can move this energy or solve problems in this backdoor kind of way, or access the deep mind through these creative acts. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.